Hey, hey, hey. So, I just want to remind you that when you get stressed, you get depressed. And I don't mean like, and that's not even always how depression appears, right? A lot of people are depressed and still put a smile on and make jokes and but I'm talking about you're not functioning at an optimal level. You can't think clearly. You deal with brain fog. You might lose your appetite. You don't really want to go do things you used to love to do. You feel burnt out, right? You just feel like laying down and not necessarily getting up. And that's a way of recovering, yes. But that can continue on more and more. And the more that you stay stressed, the longer that goes on. And a lot of people have to take medication because that's what society tells us to do, right? One thing that helps me is to go back to trying to focus on positive things that are working in my life, things I can do for myself, drink my lemon water, exercise, put more fruits and vegetables in my life. And there's days I'm like, I don't want that. I'm not in the mood to feel better. It's funny we can get in those moods, right? Just kind of like, just let me be. I don't want to do life anymore. And I think it gets harder and harder because, of course, life keeps zooming around us. It just keeps going and growing, and we're like, wait, I wasn't comfortable with last week. How did this week become next year? It moves so quickly. But as it continues to move and change, we're over here going, what am I missing? How am I not catching up? Then we start feeling held back, less than. But that's not to say that you are. But that still leads to a state of depression. Just so heavy. And I get it. It feels like the air around us. And I don't know if it's this eclipse that's coming. I know that the moons play a big role in our life. When you have a full moon that's coming, all of a sudden people start acting a little bit more rabid, more animalistic, Just like when the heat rises outside, oh Lord, people start to, that's my spot, that's my buggy, I was gonna use that napkin, whatever it is. It makes people, their blood boil in a way. Just like as winter comes and it's cold, everyone's like, oh, I just want to stay inside. And that depresses our system. We don't realize how the weather affects us. And same with the planets and the moons and everything that our ancestors knew about, And it's around those peak moments, those full moons, those new moons. A new moon will only happen at noon, and a full moon will always happen at midnight. That's how you can know the difference. But they'll both affect you greatly in the sense that, you plant seeds and you harvest. It's a monthly cycle. And at the beginning of this year, I remember saying, okay, we have 12 months to make a difference in our lives. I don't know where everybody's at on that. I'm still over here kicking myself in the butt like, come on, girl. Gotta keep going. Keep working on what your plan is. One thing I have done is make sure I push myself to work out. That's like 15 minutes every morning. Do my yoga, do my stretches, do a little toning and building and things like that. Nothing extensive, but it's still something that keeps me building a healthier plan for myself. And I'm telling you this because maybe it will inspire you to do the same. Because like I said, where are we at from where we were? What are we in? We're about to hit April. We're about to be a third of the way through our year. Our time to change our life, and it's easy to get stuck in that cycle. And it's just like running a marathon. You can make it all the way to the end and never cross the finish line. And it's not everything was for naught. It's just the achievement wasn't necessarily accomplished, And we can start at any time. But we have to remember that the one thing that matters is trying. That when we put forth an effort, we're not failing, because at least we're putting forth an effort. It's when we go, no, I'm fine. I'm not interested in doing that. Or, no, I don't know how that's going to benefit me. So it just gets to a point where it's like, brush everything to the wayside and never see how it could change your life. And a lot of times we function like that out of fear, depression, anger, hostility, jealousy, competition. You know, I've started noticing at work, a lot of people have changed the way that they dress, the way they talk, the way that they wear their makeup, the way that they carry themselves. And it's funny because you can watch how you affect the world around you, especially when you vibe in a higher vibration than most people around you. You'll know if you do because you make them feel good. They might not make you feel good, but you make them feel like, oh, you're like a nice warm towel out of the dryer when I just got out of the shower on a cold day, you know, things like that. Comfort. You feel like home to a lot of people, and people start telling you things, you know, or they just are magnetic. They're magnetized to you. That's when you know that you're vibing high. But you have to be aware of what you're attracting, because you can attract certain entities, certain individuals that their sole purpose is to knock you off your game, to knock you down a notch, to prove to themselves that, no, you're not really like that. If I can't be like that, you can't be like that. That's not how this works. You know, it's the star-bellied sneeches and the plain-bellied sneeches. Everyone wants what the other one has until they realize the cost of what it took to get there. It's not easy staying high vibing in a low vibrational world. But when you can get yourself elevated and then you can clear out the rubbish from your mind, you know, you can begin to create boundaries. I'm not saying walls, I'm not saying to cut people out, but I'm saying that you can create boundaries. Man, my nose is itching. You can create boundaries that will allow you to stay in that high vibrational state. It's like I read the other day, stay in such a sure, I have to ad-lib this because I can't remember exactly what it said, but the gist was, stay so sure about yourself that somebody's absence or actions do not affect you. That's not always easy. It is once you get to a higher vibrational standpoint, because then you can look at the world around you and go, why should I care how you judge me? You're not even judging yourself. Because, nice little reminder, we're here to judge ourselves. We're here to better ourselves. We're here to compete with ourselves. We're not here to say, oh, I got to outdo you, because you don't always have the same gifts as somebody else. You don't always have the same capabilities. Raising two different children taught me they might compete, but I had to teach them the only person you need to compete with is yourself, because you don't have the same skill set. You don't even have the exact same genetics to say that you're both going to do the same thing, you know? One was very good in math until he was tested in math. He got better because he practiced. And then the other one is very good in English. But that also has to do with the school system and how boys and girls are separated. But anyways, that's another day. When it comes down to it, we have to remember what we're attracting, how to stay high vibing in our world. Oddly, you have the alkaline water that helps your cells. You have the lemon water that boosts like cellular activity. You can actually use lemon water to lose weight. It traps fat molecules and you can pee it out when you wake up in the morning. There's a lot of superfoods, garlic, all these things that build your immunity so that your system doesn't get depressed as easily. I used to be the biggest health nut when my kids were little. Then I was like, what's it matter? We can have a lot of moments where we don't look at it so much. Just like when they were little, I used to scrub, clean. Oh my God, nothing can be dirty. They're going to get sick. They're going to die. I was a neurotic mother. That that had to do with going to college and taking microbiology and becoming a germphobe. But as time has progressed, and then even living in a tent for as long as I had to, and nobody getting sick, it made me go, maybe I don't need to break my back for the appearance to be there for others to witness. Because we can put hard work and effort into other aspects of our lives, building goals and having our dreams come into reality and focusing on things that are for the betterment of ourselves. I know it's hard because, like I said, the world around us makes us go, what's the point? What am I doing? It's like I was hanging out on the porch with all my neighbors last night. We're all just chittering and chattering, and I was like, it's so nice to be in this mental institution with all of you. And they all died laughing and were like, yeah, it's about right. But we're all a different flavor, but different flavors create a wonderful little sauce, right? So when it comes down to it, you got to pick and choose, once again, what you're allowing into your life. If people make you feel good and make you happy, come on in. If they make you question or uncomfortable, maybe push them back a little bit. Create a boundary that gives you time to evaluate the situation around you to where you can go, I can accept that, or no, we're not going to accept that. It's okay. It's your life. You have a choice. Don't let anyone tell you that that's not the way you should behave, or that wasn't nice. I grew up a lot hearing that's not nice. And it made me question who I was. Maybe that's one of the things that triggers me to be overly nice, which is often toxic. Because even 2 days ago, I had a customer following me around the store and, I'm doing something for you. I'm a tattoo artist. And then another one wrote me a letter and I just felt overwhelmed. And then yesterday, someone bought me flowers. And it's just like, I wanted to just throw the flowers in their face and be like, you're crossing a line! But the niceness in me said, thank you. They're pretty. So I know at some point we all have to learn to be more assertive with where we stand in our life. It's not just me. And if you're going through that, just breathe. Pray about it. Find guidance. Work on your throat chakra. Do certain things that will help you to get into an alignment with being cutthroat nice. Something that's not going to shred someone to pieces and then walk away like a beaten dog when all you were doing was trying to say, look, you're overstepping my boundaries. And I thought on how to handle this situation. And there's a language barrier between the one that bought me flowers and I have to try to figure out how to explain, you're asking for a friendship, but you're coming at me as relationship. And I'm not interested. So being assertive can make a lot of us uncomfortable. I was never a public speaker. I tried really hard not to take speech all through my years of high school and college. And of course it was mandatory. And as I got older, I had to realize, what does it matter? If I'm speaking, not everybody's listening. And if everybody's listening, who cares what their opinion is, So hopefully that will help somebody. If you're afraid to speak up, so was I. Here I am on YouTube. Eventually you're going to find that your voice is very valuable. So don't let anyone silence you. Don't let anyone take your truth and manipulate it to benefit them. Because a lot of people do want to come and, once again, suck the life out of you. So on that note, I'm going to heading to go to work, and peace, love, and light. Bye.